So Zingiswa Losi appears set to return as Cosatu president with a bid for a second term supported by more than 7 affiliate unions. She'll have to juggle various issues, including the long-standing discontent over public sector wages, which ultimately led to that confrontation between delegates and the ANC's national chairperson, Gwede Mandashe, earlier this week. Let's talk about this then with former Cosatu Central Executive Committee member, Pasco Dyani. A very good evening to you, sir. Grateful for your time and being on News at Prime tonight. So, President of Cosatu, going to be elected unopposed, is that necessarily a good thing for the state of democracy and contestation in the Federation?
Well, obviously it is, in particular when a comrade who is a woman actually retained her position. And he's a very militant, but obviously it's not about the individual, it's about the collective. She has to implement the resolutions that will be taken on this particular Congress. So the test on whether she's fit or not for the job is about the implementation of the resolutions that will be taken by this Congress.
And workers in this country are arguably facing the worst period in possibly a decade and a half when you look at just how many of them lost work at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Those who are still in work have not had increases at all, or the increases that they've said are simply too low to sustain them and their families. How does Cosatu then begin in working on those resolutions, begin to craft its agenda by order of importance? What should be the main focus post-Congress?
Well, we should appreciate that there is a relationship between an employer and an employee. And that particular relationship is very important. And at some stages, there will be, for a lack of a better word, confrontation. And the workers must continue to raise their issues. But at the end of the day, we should appreciate that the Congress that is sitting now will have to find ways, because obviously it is an open secret that our country is in trouble in terms of its own economy. Right now we are faced with the issues of ESCOM, as you have mentioned. Workers are losing jobs. But obviously we definitely need that particular collective voice of the workers to raise their issues very sharply.
Well, the workers say, at least those who are part of the delegates in the conference venue, they've said that the ANC government has failed them, at least in the public sector as far as wages are concerned. They say they feel disrespected. Yet on the podium, Zingiswa Losi, whom we understand they're going to re-elect now as president, said that yes, the ANC is not perfect, but they intend very much to support it for the 2024 general election. So for a membership that feels let down by the same ANC-led government, what's in it for those people to support the party and ensure that it maintains a grip on government?
Well, obviously, Cosatu will obviously, as an alliance partner, continue to have differences with the ANC on a number of variety of policies. But obviously, that does not stop the workers to raise their concern when, in particular, they feel that the very same government that we are supporting is not actually keeping its own promises. It's what has been happening throughout the period of the alliance.
But Mr. Dyani, is it not to understate what happened when you've got the national chairperson of a tripartite alliance partner, Gwede Mandashe, twice failing to address a Cosatu gathering, despite the differences where it's unable to be a conversation that happens, shall we say, in quote-unquote conducive or polite manner, where he was basically chased away by Cosatu delegates?
Well, we must appreciate that at some time that the workers have got a right to protest. Workers have got a right to raise their particular issues. And the government is an employer. And if workers are feeling very strongly that our own government that we have elected does not keep to its own promises, they've got a right to raise their issues. It is interesting and most unfortunate that he has been invited, or put it this way, the ANC has been invited, and you can't invite a guest in your house and you don't open the door. But again, it is very important that we should understand that the union is a militant organization and that the workers have got a right to raise, and if they think...
Why not go it alone? Pardon me, sir. If the workers are militant and they're fed up with the ANC government and broken promises, why doesn't the Federation break all ties with the ANC and just exist as a labour federation with no direct links to a governing party that they feel has been a letdown?
That is in the hands of the Congress, but we must understand that there is no alliance that is permanent. Possibilities that at a particular stage that would happen. But at this particular stage, if the Congress still feel very strongly that they need to maintain, it's their resolution. Right now we believe that there are 4 unions that are saying, let's do away with the alliance because it doesn't serve the objective. So it gives you the idea that at a particular point, that particular Congress will have to take that painful decision of terminating the relationship when time comes.
Pasco Dyani, good to have your time, sir. Thank you very much.